Welcome back, everyone. My name is Patrick. You're watching the Oilers Rundown. Well, the days are counting down here, guys. We got the draft this weekend, free agency next Tuesday. TSN's Ryan Rishock had this Connor McDavid update for us tonight. It sounds like Stan Bowman and Jeff Jackson are in Ontario, and meetings have begun with McDavid's agent, Judd Moldaver. Broader discussions about the organization and direction are the starting point. Again, would expect this to push well past July 1st as the two sides take their time working their way through different aspects of the negotiations. My sense is there are no numbers being tossed around at this point, but bigger picture discussions are underway. So obviously, great to hear that talks are underway. Hopefully they can get to numbers here soon. I know all of oil country will feel so much better once this negotiation is done, whether it's 3 years, 5 years, 8 years. Just as long as Connor McDavid stays an Edmonton Oiler, I think we can all be happy. But obviously, the longer the better. But Connor McDavid wants to know that Stan Bowman is going to keep this ship headed in the right direction. On Oilers Now tonight, Oilers insider Bob Stauffer reporting that Corey Perry is looking for $2.5 million per year on a new 2-year deal with the Oilers. That's about $1 million more than I'd be willing to do at this point. I'd have to cap out at $1.5 million for Corey Perry. Love him on the team, definitely want him back, but $2.5 million is getting a little rich. Maybe if it's a bonus-laden deal and he can work his way up to that amount, maybe you can consider it, but a straight-out $2.5 million cap hit for Corey Perry I think would definitely be too much, but we'll see what happens here. There's also reports that former Edmonton Oiler Klim Kostin will not be qualified and will become an unrestricted free agent. He is definitely someone I might consider for the Oilers' bottom six, especially if the Oilers do move out of Vander Kane. And another player to watch here that's listed by Frank Saravalli is Cody Glass with the New Jersey Devils, or formerly with the New Jersey Devils now, a right shot center. The Oilers may look at him for the bottom six as well. I think things are about to start happening here in oil country. It's been kind of quiet to start out this week. We haven't really gotten much aside from the Trent Frederick news, possibly the Oilers re-signing Kasperi Kapanen. We know Evander Kane, Victor Arvidsson are on the market, and further to the Evander Kane and Victor Arvidsson speculation, there was a quote released by Bob Stauffer on Oilers Now tonight, captured here by @OilerAlert. There's lots of conversations and dialogue taking place, not all of which can be discussed at this time. Let's just say the Oilers have a little different approach under Stan Bowman. Mark my words, Edmonton will have more cap space than it appears today, maybe by July 1st. Now, logic would dictate that Bob Stauffer is leaning towards Victor Arvidsson and Evander Kane for having more cap space, moving those guys out. That gives you a combined $9 million if you can move those guys without taking any money back, which the Oilers may not be able to do. But some speculation that maybe that could lean towards a guy like Darnell Nurse. I know Nurse is a polarizing figure in oil country. Some people love him, some people hate him. And he's been up and down in his career. He's looked fantastic at certain times, struggled mightily at other times. He's got a no-move clause. He's very close with Connor McDavid, so very unlikely that Darnell Nurse is going anywhere. But if the Oilers were able to move a contract like his, that could potentially open up a lot more possibilities for this team. We know a team like the Columbus Blue Jackets has been talked about a lot as a team that wants to make a big splash. Got a goaltender in Elvis Merzlikins that they're looking to move out. The Oilers, we know, are looking for a different goaltender. It's kind of hard to look out there and find a huge improvement other than possibly a Jeremy Swayman like we talked about yesterday. But again, at the same time, for $8.25 million, is Jeremy Swayman a huge upgrade? So maybe the Oilers entertain a possibility like Elvis Merzlikins. Heard a lot of people talking about Thatcher Demko with the Vancouver Canucks. With the emergence of Artur Shilovs, the Canucks will definitely be looking to move a goaltender out. They've got Kevin Lankin in there, so Thatcher Demko is probably available. I highly doubt that the Canucks are going to move him to the Edmonton Oilers, though, and the same concerns sit with Thatcher Demko that sit with John Gibson. Both guys extremely injury prone, so I don't know if the Oilers should really be going for either John Gibson or Thatcher Demko for those reasons. But those are the names that we have kind of circulating right now. But with this quote from Bob Stauffer, wonder if the Oilers are going for something much bigger here. Talked about it at the end of my video yesterday. The Oilers went after Mikko Rantanen at the trade deadline last year, offered him $14 million. The Oilers are taking a different approach under Stan Bowman. There might be some bigger things here than we're realizing that the Oilers could be involved in. So maybe thinking about a guy like Elvis Merzlikins is thinking too small for what Stan Bowman has in mind, or maybe I'm completely off track here, but I think the next few days are definitely going to be interesting. The free agent crop, led by Jake Allen, isn't too exciting, so a trade is most likely here for the Edmonton Oilers with Evander Kane, Victor Arvidsson, possibly even more guys headed out the door here before July 1st. So should be lots cooking here in oil country to talk about over the next few days. One other thing I wanted to cover was Oilers prospect Sam O'Reilly. Rick Precy, director of amateur scouting, said on Oilers Now today that the Oilers had Sam O'Reilly ranked between 15 to 20 in last year's draft, and they were able to trade and draft him at 32nd overall. So a huge coup there for the Oilers scouting department led by Rick Precy. And there was also this report from Jason Greger that was also discussed by Bob Stauffer and Jerry Johansson on Oilers Now tonight. Jason Greger reporting, hearing more and more that 19-year-olds will be allowed in the AHL in the next CBA, and it might even get put in for this coming year. Not a big fan of it. I see many 20-year-olds struggle and lose confidence, so doing it early won't help. Teams should be very leery to do it. The Oilers obviously affected by this with Sam O'Reilly. If it does get put in for this summer, Sam O'Reilly could potentially be a Bakersfield Condor next year. I don't think Sam O'Reilly has a chance at making the Edmonton Oilers. I'm predicting him right now to play 9 games with the Edmonton Oilers next year before being sent down, where I thought he'd be going back to the London Knights. But if this does go through and Sam O'Reilly has the opportunity to play with the Bakersfield Condors next year, that is pretty exciting. I thought Sam O'Reilly looked like he belonged last year in the fall. Obviously, the Oilers made the right choice sending him back to London, won a Memorial Cup with the London Knights, and gained even more valuable experience. But let's see what happens here. Jason Greger made a great point that maybe it's too much to put on those young guys too early to have them in the American Hockey League. But for guys like Sam O'Reilly who are showing that they're ahead of the curve, he might be okay with Bakersfield next year. So let's see if that does become a possibility. Otherwise, Sam O'Reilly is likely headed back to the London Knights in the OHL for another season. So I think that's all I had for now, guys, but some exciting news from Bob Stauffer. We're definitely going to see some action here, I think. Stan Bowman taking a different approach than Ken Holland. I think Ken Holland was always a little bit conservative, liked his veterans, stuff like that, and I think Stan Bowman knows this team has to get a little bit younger, so possibly some younger targets out there for the Edmonton Oilers, and possibly a surprise goaltender if the Oilers do acquire a goaltender here before July 1st. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If this is your first visit to the channel and you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing for all the latest Oilers content. You've been watching the Oilers Fanatic. Thanks for being a fan.